cloud. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue, cause I done fed up. You done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Benskop upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and on the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop.
All right, hey, guess what? Good night and welcome to Straight Up. You know, they have some Guyanese, they know, they sit in Guyana. Some of their political leaders don't do nothing, don't say nothing, start late, all sorts of things. But all because we're running little stuff and we're doing our thing. It's 9:15. The bumps raised. It's 9:15. Yeah. I bet if we put, I'm sorry, I'm not saying we're going to put that, but if we put If we put our Cash App and we put our Zelle, we say, hey, do something for us right here on 107.1 FM. They're going to run. They're going to disappear underneath their cars. You can't find them. You just can't find them at all. But, oh, you're late, Mark. Oh, gosh, give me a break. They know who I'm talking about. Good night again, and welcome to Straight Up. Let me say this. Let me say this to you guys. Anyone talks about, Mark, you need a haircut, Mark. Tonight is not the night for that, because I'm warning you guys, my bumps is going to raise. And these days I'm quiet, quiet, and I'm watching some people and their tantrums over me and these sort of things. And I'm like, you don't want me to go there, right? You really don't want me to go there, right? Those who know Mark Benchop know Mark Benchop, right? Anyways, good night to all of you. If your last name is Caesar, please do not watch this show tonight. If your last name, so somebody tag Wayne Caesar, right? We see Wayne is already in the audience. Wayne and Gavin Caesar and the Caesar. Well, let's start right off. I know they're different Caesars, right? Different Caesars, spelled differently, all sort of things. But look at this guy. This is nothing new. This has been years of stupidity, years of serious allegations of corruption, years of serious allegations of bribery, covering up, allegations of covering up murders, covering up all sort of things, every single thing. It is years. It is not something that just happened overnight. We all knew that this guy, along with others, are supposedly, mind you, supposedly on the radar of U.S. law enforcement agencies. Years now. Lots and lots of things, lots and lots of allegations. It is not confined in one particular area. Lots and lots of allegations. Look, this wasn't too long ago. He was questioned. He was, quote unquote, detained. Superintendent Caesar reportedly detained, questioned by U.S. law enforcement. Now, this is not the new, this story here is not the new story. This happened about 2 years ago or so. And so even before that, Caesar, according to news, according to sources, mind you, that he's on law enforcement agencies' radars for a variety of things, lots and lots of things. And mind you, he is not the only one. They have other crime chief, sorry, not crime chief. Did I say crime chief? I didn't really mean to say it that way. But they have other senior, very senior police officers in the Guyana Police Force, who are on U.S. law enforcement radars. Some of them cannot travel to the U.S. because they will possibly be detained. Some of them can't travel, maybe because they got their visas revoked, and all manner of stuff. So do not be distracted. Stay focused. Watch where this is leading to. Do not listen to masquerades and these sort of things. This is a long-standing investigation. It has been around for a while, and the chickens are now coming home to roost. This was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time. Remember, Marlon Thomas, how are you? So lots of people, as I've said, senior police officers, very senior police officers and their families have had their visas revoked, or they are on the radar of U.S. law enforcement agencies, other law enforcement agencies as well. So we're not going to call names. We're not here on 107.1. We're not here to insert ourselves in any story. We're not here to call names. We're not here to rush to see who brought it out first and who said this. And we're not here for that. all we want you guys is to pay careful attention and follow the story in a very, very objective way. And you will know that these allegations that are leveled against these senior cops have been pending for years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. But it has gotten so much that the US have decided that they're going to pull the string on a lot of these senior policemen, so-called policemen. Now, when this story happened about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, 1.5 years, 2 years ago, Jack Dale, also known as Dilip, who, by the way, is still fighting for his life, still trying to recover. Jack Dale, yeah. That is why you don't see him in public at all. Belly walk. Lots and lots of investigations. Maybe about bank accounts in China. Maybe about other properties all over. Properties not only in Florida. If you notice that little thing that Susan has, that little thing. Susan has a little thing. I'm talking about the house in Florida. That's just a little tiny house compared to what Jack Dale, Irfan, all of these guys have. If y'all think that Susan, that's nothing. That's crumbs, what Susan Rodriguez is talking. That is crumbs when you guys see and hear the stories and properties and bank accounts that Jack Dale and these vagabonds have. They will make Susan look like nothing, a little thing, a little small thing. So Susan has. That house in Florida is nothing, by the way. But when this story happened, we were told about 2 years ago, it is, right, that Superintendent Caesar, Mitchell Caesar, who is standing there attempting to look like Wandi, Varatma Wandi, right, reportedly detained by U.S. law enforcement. That's in the U.S. This was about 2 years ago. But Jack Dale, remember Jack Dale at a so-called press conference, Dilip at a so-called press conference? This is what he said.
We saw that in the media. It came out in the media. The report, from what we gather, from what I gather, a report was made to the superior officer or the senior officer of that policeman. So that will engage the leadership of the police force, and that's where the matter will be dealt with.
Does the government have any worries at what it relates to the line of questioning of the...
No, I personally, I did not seek to find out what it related to, because that should be dealt with by the police force. The United States of America will not tell us what their questions are, why they question people, because that's immigration matter. They don't, as a matter of policy, they don't release why visas are withdrawn or denied. So a lot of people have had visas withdrawn or denied, but they will not share that information. That is they keep that information to themselves. If there is any criminality on the part of anyone in government, then once the information is shared with us formally by the U.S. government, there'll be action taken against people. But we can't go on the basis of allegations and all of that. We can't run around based on conjectures and rumors. So, but let me assure you that if there is any information that's shared about criminality on the part of anyone, including police officers, that they will face the full consequences of the law. We made it clear. Anyone that this party, because at one stage people were claiming that they were beholden, that the party is beholden to certain individuals in this country, and therefore will defend them at any cost, even if they commit illegality. And I've made that clear, that the party is bigger than any individual, and that nobody should harbor a modicum of doubt as to how we will act in case that there are verified cases of illegality, that we will act in a manner consistent with the law.
All right, consistent with the law. We're wondering, are we talking about Guyana? Is there any consistency with the law in terms of upholding the law, the rule of law in Guyana under the corrupt PPP regime? No. Ask Jack Dale this question if ever he comes off of his sick bed because he's recovering from God in heaven knows what. He's really, really sick, mentally too. But ask him, what has happened to these guys? Demon, Paul Darby Jr., Randolph Duncan, and especially Hemnat Saw, the senior police officer of the Guyana Police Force that was actually sanctioned, and indictments are serious indictments against all of them. Traffickers, U.S. Guyana, or traffickers use Guyana as a cocaine transshipment point to the U.S. And these guys were sanctioned. Jack Dale is quiet. The PPP is quiet. But not only that, this policeman, this senior policeman, is still on the job, is still being paid. But Jack Dale, they're running away. They're saying that the U.S., if they will ask for information and the U.S. would share. Here's why the U.S., for the most part, wouldn't share information with the corrupt PPP regime. They might cooperate with them now politically because of Exxon and so forth and so on. But do you think the U.S. trusts Jack Dale and Irfan and these guys? Don't be fooled because you see a little nice talk sometimes and Marco picks up the phone and calls and talks to them and so forth. Do not be fooled by that. Now, Jack Dale, ask Jack Dale, what has happened to this guy, Hemnat Saw? Hemnat. Y'all know Hemnat, right? And the serious allegations leveled against him. Not so long ago, we heard that he was going to write to OFAC, right? OFAC, right? And it makes me want to say that too, but OFAC is actually the company the agency that sanctioned this guy. And so here is what they do. They run out in the public, pretend as though they're clean. Oh, he wants his name to be removed from the list. Meanwhile, Jack Dale is quiet. Irfan Ali is quiet. The commissioner of police is quiet. The guys at Soku, they're quiet too. All of them are quiet because you know the saying goes, birds of a feather not only flock together, but it rhymes, right? Birds of a feather together. And so all of them are in the same pond. All of them are sitting around the same table. All of them have stories on each other. You know, Guyanese love a thing. Hey, I get the one file by. I get the one file by. I get the one. Well, that's pet talk. We're talking about real files, real corruption. So who do you think this guy, Hemnat, is going to write to? Maybe at the U.S. Embassy. They're going to ignore him. Maybe he's going to write to the state. They're going to ignore him. And then he's going to, write to OFAC? For what? The evidence, I'm told, mind you, against these guys are so strong that it will make Hulk Hogan looks like nothing. It will make Mr. T look like Pee Wee Herman. It will make a strong, strong person like me, not just physically, look like a Sherwin Green, or so forth and so on. And so the point I'm making is these guys get dirty business for each other. Not only each other at the Guyana police force, but they have secrets to each other. They have secrets to the drug lords. The drug lords have secrets for them. They have secrets to money launderers. The money launderers have secrets for them. They have secrets for the fuel smugglers, and the fuel smugglers have secrets for them too. Killing squad members, phantom squads, whether it's Roger Khan. Don't you think Roger Khan got secrets for Jack Dew and these guys? Of course. They all have secrets for each other. And so they have to defend each other. That is what it is about with these guys, defending each other at any cost and by any means necessary. Do not be fooled, guys. Just do not be fooled. Now, this guy is Caesar. Caesar is said to, according to information, and this guy actually said it, Susan Rodriguez's cousin, who is Gray Boy, Regan Rodriguez, said on several occasions, identified this guy as a corrupt policeman. Serious allegations of him being corrupt. And so when these guys are caught with their pants down, they say that they got to associate with criminals in order to get information. Yeah, right. Give us a break. Now, how many of you remember Bascom? What is his name? Dion Bascom. Serious allegations leveled against very senior members of the Guyana police force, not only in the Paper Shorts murder, and serious allegations that they have covered it up. Well, I want to hear about that Paper Shorts murder, and the whistleblowers have to come out to say exactly what happened and the covering up of that murder. Not only that murder, the covering up of Phantom Squad killings, the covering up of money launderers, gold smugglers. Lots and lots of senior police officers are in the pockets of those guys. And so they all have to cover up for each other. During the Granger administration, very senior police officers failed their polygraph test. Lots of them failed it. Some of them couldn't even write an essay in order to be promoted. And all these things. Lots and lots of problems in Guyana. And I do believe that the U.S., they're getting fed up with the corruption, fed up with the corrupt senior police officers, fed up with corrupt senior Guyana Defense Force officers. But forget about the prison officers, them. They're up on a different hustle, right? They're up on a different hustle. And that is what is happening right now in Guyana. Helter-skelter the country is running. And it is my opinion, and a lot of you might be seeing and reading between the lines, that maybe the U.S. is just fed up. Fed up with these guys. Fed up of corruption. Fed up of every single thing. Fed up of Irfan. Fed up of Jack Dew. Fed up of Clifton Hicken. Fed up of them. Now, I don't know when was the last time we saw Hicken in the U.S. I'd love to sit somewhere with Hicken. I don't have money, right? I probably use somebody money, borrow somebody money, or probably say, hey, give me, y'all know me already, right? To pay for this cup of coffee for Hicken. I would love to sit somewhere where the coffee, either senior citizen discount for the coffee or something, in the U.S. with Hicken. Also, I'm going to be honest with you, also the crime chief. whenever they're coming to the United States of America, I can pick them up at the airport. You know, I could jump in a Uber or something like that, a Uber. Because y'all know, me ain't get nothing, man. I don't even barely get $1 in my pocket and these things, right? So get the point I'm making, let them come. Let them come to the U.S. Let Jack Dale come to the U.S. too. When was the last time you guys saw Jack Dale in the U.S.? Even ministers, Jamal Aziz, ministers are afraid to travel. Kwame, afraid to travel. Lots of them are afraid to travel. You think Susan Rodriguez might take a little chance now? I mean, they have diplomatic passports, but not because they have diplomatic passport mean anything. It doesn't mean they can't be questioned. It doesn't mean that at all. So let's get back to Jugdale. Jugdale 2 years ago said, and by the way, he probably is watching. He's lying in bed right now. Maybe with Kwame next to him or whoever else. Let us say this here. We're getting some text messages and some more updates on Caesar, and that Caesar didn't want to leave from Guyana because he knew that his visa was revoked. But he still took a chance. But somebody is saying that he basically, what happened is that he wanted to probably enter the United States of America and claim asylum. Now, I don't know whether that's accurate or not, and neither do I wish to continue with it. But that is just a message that I just received on my a text message, sorry. So I'm not going to go that route. But let me say this to you guys. Something is definitely fishy about this whole situation. Definitely fishy. Do not be fooled, guys. Do not be distracted. Because this has a lot to do with a lot of corruption in Guyana. They have been watching him and others for quite a long time now. Do you recall during the time when Paper Sharks was actually murdered? This guy, Dion Bascom, the policeman who lost his job because senior policemen gang up against him to cover up crimes upon crimes and crimes. That is it. Senior police. And that's what's been going on. I don't know. Now, there is a Jacob Amin says, Mark, stand down, stand back. Right? The last I checked my birth certificate, I got to check back if my birth certificate has father or mother listed as Jacob Amin. Right? Jacob Amin says, Mark, stand down and stand back. Right? These guys, hey, we got to love some of our listeners, you know. Just like that, just a dry, Mary Figueroa, just a dry, this guy came out. This guy said, Mark, stand down and stand back. Right? I'm warning you. Are you telling me stand, Jacob? I mean, telling me stand down and stand back. You like call me cousin Sean Ben. I wasn't gonna say Sean Hines, right? Man says stand down and stand back. I'm warning you. Anyways, let's continue. Thank you so much for that warning, Jacob. I mean, stand down and stand back. All right, let's continue here, guys. So this is what happened. Caesar says Bascom's allegations are untrue, demands apology, and sued the poor cop who lost his job because he was doing the right thing. Bascom was doing the right thing, and they didn't like it. And so they kicked the guy out of the force and sued him. Caesar sued him for 50 million. You know, a bunch of people sued him, right? Lots and lots of people sued him. The Mohammed sued him. Caesar sued him. A couple other police officers sued him. This guy get more Sue than Sue. They should be calling him Dion Bascom Sue, right? So, and this is what is happening. These allegations have been around since, look, I'm not going to say it because this guy, they're always coming after and arresting people. You think it's two things they did in Guyana? Yeah, you know, I know this guy Caesar very well, you know, and you guys will know how I know him very well. It's not easy getting the handcuffs from corrupt, and I would say politically corrupt senior police officers. And lots of us, lots of people who are persecuted in Guyana, they understand, they know how deadly some of these senior policemen are. They are deadly. This is not just easy talk on Facebook. On the ground, they are deadly. Deadly. And so when we heard the news about Caesar, his visa being revoked, now you ask yourself this question. If he's going to the U.S., he didn't want to leave through Timeri, or what do you call it there now, Chedijagan International Airport. He didn't want to leave through there at all because he kind of knew. He hasn't traveled to the U.S. for a while, because whenever he travels to the U.S., he goes to New Jersey, and then he's in Queens, and then he's in some other places, and all these things. And then they sit and they eat duck curry, they drink nice expensive wine or rum or whatever, Hennessy and these things. And they talk and they boast and they brag about this and they brag about that. But that's for another story, right? That's for another time. You can't talk every single thing. You can't telegraph your shots. And some people just like, they got like suffer from oral diarrhea, man. They can't hold back, you know, their emotions. You telegraph too much shots, and sometimes the shots are like blank shots. And so that's why we keep sometimes wondering why, when we're in the struggle and we are about to get the PPP and these corrupt individuals, and then we get a pushback because too many people just talk too much and telegraph their shots. And anyways, Rhonda Lane, how are you doing? Rhonda Lane, of course you can attest to it. You can attest to a lot of things. These people did a lot of people wrong things in Guyana, man. A lot of people are languishing in prison because of corrupt policemen. Corrupt policemen. That's what's happening. Hey, what else is happening in your neck of the woods? Oops, this picture wasn't supposed to go on. I don't know what our operator is doing. This photograph should not have been there. I don't know. Take it down, guys. Take it down. Take him down. Oh, take it down. Like that guy said, Mark, stand down, stand back, stand down. Now let's take a look at, not at that, but let's take a look at this here. How many of you guys know these guys? One of them, of course, the bottom one, is now the bottom one indeed. Caesar, the nutmeg, dirty looking one, of course, that is Robeson Ben. But the guy on top, the younger guy, is the guy that they accused him of burning down the brick dam, brick dam police station. You guys remember that, right? Accused him of burning down the brick dam police station. And this guy that they accused, and we all know what happened, because remember the story that they said that the guys pushed some wire through the crease, and this wire ran all the way up and all manner of things. You guys remember that, right? Well, you guys remember that, right? Well, here's what happened. They fabricated that against the guy so that they can just cover up their crimes. Because at that time, according to information, they were burning these buildings down, self-inflicted, burning these buildings down so that they can give out contracts to their friends and cronies. That is what they were up to, giving out those contracts to their friends and cronies. And it's over or close to $1 billion, close to $1 billion for that. And they give that contract to their friends and their cronies, right? Close to $1 billion. And then remember the fire headquarters contract? They gave it to their friends for almost $1 billion contract. I bet how many of y'all can't remember that it was the Mohammeds that got that contract, right? For almost $1 billion. Yep. They give it to y'all, some of y'all, boy. Yep. They give it to Azruddin Mohammed, their company, the Mohammeds, give them that fire headquarters contract for almost $1 billion contracts. So contracts were given out left, right, and center to every single kunumunu. This kunumunu on this page right now here, this guy, he got contracts upon contracts. And that's how the PPP operates. They don't care who they give contracts to. They don't care. As long as it's their friends and their cronies, they don't have to be qualified. They don't have to be experienced. All they have to do is to be with the PPP, and they will get close to the PPP, and they get billions of dollars of contracts. That is how Guyana is running right now. It has been that way under the PPP regime for so many years, almost 3 decades now. Almost 3 decades. And this guy has a lot of stories to tell. I don't know what he's talking or what he knows, but he looks like he's talking, right? Not stalking, that too, because he likes to stalk. But he's talking. He is talking to somebody. And because of that, I'm going to say this here publicly. If he is watching, because, he has a big mouth, that's just a big mouth. No, loud barks, no bite. And so if Critic is watching, somebody said to Critic that he's got to be careful in Guyana, because Jack Dave and these guys are not easy people, Critic. And this is just my advice to you. They're not easy people, Remember, these guys wrap up. Well, you should know this too, Critic, because you at one point in time were said to be a lookout man for the Phantom Squad and them, right? Now, so you know how they operate. And because things are heating up in Guyana, Critic, things heating up. And you can't take the heat, you just mess up yourself, you just run, and all sorts of things, you vomit, you get diarrhea, all sorts of things, Critic. This is all I'm saying, Critic. It is heating up, and Jack Dave and these guys may turn against you. They may turn against you because they think that you're selling guns to the Apache. And not only the Apache, all over, whoever want to buy something, you just selling and selling and selling and selling and selling. Selling and selling and selling and selling. Anyways, I have nothing else to say. Absolutely nothing else to say on that. Let him keep selling and selling, because Jagde, they don't trust him any longer. The Mohammeds and them, well, he run away. Wherever they get a little food, Critic and they're there for eat. And y'all know, once the Mohammed feed y'all, and if y'all turn against them and say something else, they can come publicly and say they feed y'all. If they give you a cent and you turn and you talk something that they don't, they can come publicly and say they give you money, they feed you, they give you lollipop, they give you ice cream. Hey, Nazar Mohammed is not easy, why? Man will come publicly and say, I give that one money, that one is a loopy dog. Black man this and all. Y'all think them chaps easy? All you try there. So now let's move on again. Last evening we spoke about 1 million. 1 million. Guyana get 1 million people. Up to now, I don't believe this thing yet. I don't believe it. It's a sign of corruption, desperation, because remember, local government elections is around the corner, right? And remember that they got to pack the voters list in order to justify their rigging. So when the list was supposed to have been released, they didn't want it to be released. The PBP wasn't releasing it. So how all of a sudden the PBP decides now that they are going to release it? Suddenly, after they pad it up, they pad it so till they can't pad it no more. And hear me out. I want you guys to hear me out, as we would say. Hear me out on this here. If every year 15,000, 12,000, 20,000 Guyanese leave Guyana, and 3/4 do not return, every single time, there are more Guyanese, over 500,000 to 600,000 Guyanese are outside of Guyana, whether in the UK, whether wherever they are, Canada. And good night to the folks in Mississauga, Brampton, and other areas there, Alberta, all over Canada. Guyanese are thousands upon thousands. In the US, thousands upon thousands. Thousands upon thousands of Guyanese are in the US. You go in Queens right now, you go into a basement. A basement right now, they have 14 family members in one bedroom. Good night to G1 and Sati. They're watching right now in a basement. 15 of them in a basement in Queens. Good night to Sati and G1. And then you got 15 of them peeping in a basement in Brooklyn too. All these sort of things. Lots and lots of Guyanese are all over. And suddenly, this corrupt, this criminal PBP regime, gonna come now for tell y'all that Guyana has 1 million people. 1 million. They jumped from 750,000 to 1 million people. Oh, Father, oh. Do we have a pastor watching? Do we have a reverend watching? Do we have an apostle watching? Can somebody pray, please? Can somebody pray, please? 1 million? Just so dry? 1 million? This is suspect. Suspect. Now, hear how they come, though. Y'all don't run away with this as though it's a legitimate. They go, and if there's a household with 25 foreigners, they still count them. And so that 1 million could very well have, let us say, 200,000 Venezuelans, 75,000 Brazilians, 80,000 between Bangladeshi and Indians. That is the count. They don't want no Haitians on that. They don't want no Nigerians. They might get a few, one or two, who duck and hide until they get married and get through. But they don't want those sort of people in Guyana. So the bulk of people that they pad this list with, pad it up, the pad. Dagdev is good at that. Pads. I don't know why his parents didn't name him Padmani. Pad. Every elections he pad. Every single elections he pad. Putani pad the voters list. Pad money. Padding the voters list. Pad money now. Padding. Yep, pad money. That's what they should call him, pad money. Padding the voters list. And now look, the census they pad the census. Everything, Jack, they're padding. And when I say pad everything, I really do mean everything. Pad. Corruption. I really do mean it. Pad everything. Every single thing. And that's what's going on with the census. But we need to have the experts to break it down, break the census down, come out publicly, and talk about the census, break things down. I don't know if anybody started that already, but APNU and PNC, those folks in APNO and PNC, they need to come out publicly and start talking about the census. Break it down. Broke it down. I knew I was going to get Michelle Lampkin's attention. I knew I was going to get Janet Adams-Wynn's attention. I just knew it. I knew Padmini would have gotten your attention. There goes Pad. He pad the voters list, pad everything, pad. So much so they might even start Carly Padna. Anyways, guys, sorry, I was distracted there by two who are ardent supporters, listeners, Janet Adams, Wins, and Michelle Lampkin. Michelle Lampkin, good to see you on this program, Michelle. Really do. All right, so what else we can talk about, right? We don't want to talk about Caesar anymore because we don't want gap about that. We don't want gap. Other than whatever else is to happen, you guys will see, you guys will hear, and you guys will take it from there. But all I know, lots of you are smart people. The Douglases are very smart people. Shelley, very smart. Come from very smart family. Let me see. I'm looking at some of you here, and I know whose family isn't a smart family. Trust me, I know whose family isn't smart. Selwyn Peters is with us here. You know, Selwyn didn't come from no smart family at all. Because Selwyn himself isn't smart, right? That's why his name is Selwyn, right? And so, just guys, hear what this is crazy season, so to speak. Crazy season, so to speak. And when you see certain things happening, when you see certain things being exposed, be careful, because they have some propagandists would love to package it and sell it as though they're selling parsat to you, as though they must sell mambhok to you, as though they must sell puri, or be careful with the packaging, because this will cause a lot of problems. Is the packaging misinformation? Be careful with the packaging of misinformation, whether it is Caesar or whomever. But what we do know, getting back to what Jack Deere said, that about the U.S. and not sharing, they didn't give him any information about, they're not going to share any information with the PPP. The U.S. is not going to share any information with the PPP. They're not going to do it. You know why? Because when they share information with the PPP about the folks in the criminal underworld, of course, you know, the PPP is part of that too. The PPP gives the information back to the individuals who are wanted. And so, remember a couple of weeks ago, Anil Nandalal said that coming soon, they will have more extradition requests. Those requests were never handed over to the PPP. They were never handed over to Anil Nandalal. Guess why? Because the U.S., this is just my opinion, mind, yeah. The U.S. folks are afraid, not that they're afraid of Guyana, they're not, because just like they snatched Maduro, they could go in there and snatch anybody they want on that extradition list. Whether it's the Mohammeds, whether it's the others who are on that list, whether it's Jack Deere, they could snatch Jack Deere anytime. Anytime. So it's no big. No, I'm not saying that certain things are justified. Don't get me wrong. I'm just speaking in general that Anil cannot continue to swar U.S. law enforcement agents or agencies. He cannot, because the people already peep their cards. The people already know what they're up to. That's all. I'm not saying anything else. And so when Anil talks about a list of others to be extradited, and he cannot tell the public what has happened to that list, whether he received the list and whether there's one or two individuals that may shock you guys out there. Okay, forget it. Yeah, not going to see anything else. Yeah, when it happens, it happens. That may shock some of you guys out there, but let us move on, right? Let us move on. How many of you guys know what's happening here? Let me see if you watch the news, whether you know what's happening here. Somebody sent this to me, and I don't know what's happening here. What's happening here? Anybody? Somebody say something. What's going on? Who are these guys in this picture? Can somebody? Who are these guys? I don't know. Who are these guys? Why this person sent this photograph to me? I'm trying to figure out who are these guys. What's happening here? Operator, what's going on? Why is this picture on here? I don't know what it is. Honestly, so it looks as though we'll have to fire our operator. It's stuck there, and I don't know who this is. It looks like a comedy show, is it? It's not a cultural center. No, man, this can't be the cultural center. Cultural center. This guy is not a guy that plays the cop in Guyana, the dread guy who was, I don't know. Come on, let's move on. I don't even know. Oh, Gaston Brown. Oh, okay, yeah. He's the Prime Minister of Antigua Barbuda? Oh, wow. Politics has really changed these days, right? So he's there with that guy that's singing, I am blessed, I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed. Go, Gaston Brown. Politics, the point is, politics has changed. When I was growing up, politicians didn't behave like this in public. Politicians didn't behave like this. These days, politicians doing all sorts of things. They whine for the money. They do all sorts of things with the money. Every single thing they do. I don't know.
The national player!
Showtime! Oh, wait a minute. You guys, let me stand up here. Showtime! Showtime! Right? That's politics now, guys. So when I saw Gaston Brown on stage and Gaston Brown, I'm like, okay, politics change. This is not the era of the Burnham and these guys, you know. It's just not. It's different. Times have changed. It's just wild out. These guys buckballing, these guys winding up, kissing up, padding up, all sort of things here. I don't know, but Gaston, you know, Gaston love cuss. Gaston don't make joke for cuss people, you know, because these days, you know, people cussing me left, right, and center by all sort of things. Banners want beat me up. Oh gosh, but I don't know why people always pick on me, like because I can't fight, I can't do nothing. Right. Anyways, Guyana, lots and lots of prayers for Guyana. It's a sad thing, though, when senior police officers of any police force, but in this instance, we're talking about Guyana, right? They're into drugs. That's according to the US and Canadians and maybe the British as well. They're drug dealers. Senior police officers are drug dealers in Guyana. Senior police officers are gold smugglers in Guyana. Senior police officers used to be part of a backtrack ring. At that time, they used to call it backtrack smuggling, human smuggling. Senior police officers are into gold smuggling. Senior police officers were into visa scam in Guyana. How many of you remember the Thomas Carroll situation? Senior police officers they were enforcers. This guy in his book, Thomas Carroll, David, I got to get in touch with the author, my friend, to talk a little bit. I hope he's still around, you know. But every single dirty criminal acts in Guyana, guess what? Senior police officers are part of that. And when you live in a society that you see a senior police officer has big houses, not one, not two, not three, not four, find out how they got the houses. They got it through some criminal underworld. That is how they get it. And so these drugsmen and these gold smugglers and all these, that is how they pay for protection. They pay for security, police escorts. That is what they do. How you think some of these senior cops, they got houses all over Guyana, big houses. They drive fancy vehicles because they do that to protect the criminal underworld. They do that to protect drug lords when they got their plane loads of drugs landing in the interior or submarine. Tons upon tons of cocaine being shipped out. Senior police officers are aware of those things and they collect their monies and they turn a blind eye to these things. When people are killed in Guyana and certain so-called business people are connected to the killing, guess what? They usually round up the wrong set of people and dig a charge and dig a charge and dig a charge. You go to prison, you go to prison, you go to prison. That is what they do. And you cannot have a country like Guyana and expect it to grow, whether democratically or economically or whatever. It is not going to grow. It's going to grow backward, 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 backward. Because of the likes of Padani, aka Jack Dave and them. They do not believe in governance. They do not believe in the rule of law. Rule of law for them is protect their criminal friends. Give them guns to open, security agencies. Give them guns to go and shoot and kill people. And nothing comes out of it. Take a look at this. It happens. Just like that. They can kill, they can do everything. And you know who are the ones who feel the squeeze, right? The ordinary, the poor man. But as long as you get connection to the corrupt PVP regime, they turn a blind eye. They're perfect. Susan Rodriguez is perfect. Nothing wrong. Zulfikar Mustafa, nothing wrong. None of them would ever admit that they do anything wrong. None of them would ever admit that they're corrupt. But we see it every single day. It is right there in front of our eyes to see. Just remove whatever it is, and it's right there for us. Sometimes you don't even have, we're on Facebook and we see it. Guyana cannot grow, cannot move forward because of these corrupt individuals. And that is why every single day, it's one controversy to the next, one to the next. It's like a trauma center. When I was a little boy growing up on the quarantine, you're driving past Kanji Bridge. Michelle Lampkin and them, I used to wave at them when they were little girls. Hey, Michelle and others. Right, not too far from Kanji Bridge. But a stone throw away from the bridge is the psychiatric ward, hospital. But small days, we used to say madhouse. But I'm sorry. Any one of you, Selwyn Peters, I'm sorry that I used to wave at you guys and say madhouse. But as I got older, I'm old man now. The biggest madhouse in Guyana is Parliament. The biggest madhouse right now is Office of the President. The biggest madhouse right now is Freedom House. And so, again, I apologize to the patients there at the psychiatric hospital. My apologies. And for those who made it out, like Selwyn and them guys, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. And so that's what's happening in Guyana under the corrupt PPP regime. Every single day you see on social media. By the time I get off the program, you might hear something. They might even start deliberately burning things down. Schools, ministries, and they do this because, well, the budget didn't come out yet. Usually, this is what the PPP does. Usually close to budget time or right after budget time, then is when they start the fire. And they try to blame folks in the opposition. All sorts of things. You notice what they did with that gas station. They knew exactly what happened. The police knew what happened. And, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those guys are innocent that they charged for that gas station explosion. But hear what they did. They decided that without an investigation, they rushed to blame. They say is Azruddin Mohammed who did it, right? Y'all remember they did that. And that Bordness guy got vexed because I told them, because when they ran with that narrative, they wanted me to just join and say, oh, yes, it's the Mohammed probably did that. Is Azruddin Mohammed at the gas station bombing? No. Accuse them of gold smuggling or whatever else. But don't tell me that I got to join y'all to accuse them of that gas station bombing, that explosion, when senior police officers know exactly what happened and who those guys were targeting. You see that guy, that Spanish guy that took the rap? He knew exactly who he's working for. He knew exactly probably the target. The PPP knows the target, but they're going to say nothing. They're going to stay quiet. Hicken's going to stay quiet and all these things. Just like in the paper shorts morning, they're going to stay quiet, at least for now. But what's going to happen? Mouth to open story going to jump out very soon, very shortly. Because this guy is supposed to be the ex-son-in-law of Hicken. And he was supposed to be, or is supposed to be, the ex-security guy for the Mohammeds them. And he is accused, Mark Richmond is accused of killing paper shorts. Accused, mind you. And this guy is said to be the ex-son-in-law of the commissioner of police, Hicken. Sad situation in Guyana, right? Sad indeed. Beautiful country with corrupt politicians, corrupt leaders. So when you see these guys, these gangsters, now let's address the gangsters. Gangsters can only survive once they have corrupt politicians in office. So you can't blame the gangsters for penetrating the police force, paying senior police officers millions of dollars, giving them fancy cars. Y'all think some of those senior officers files big. Fancy cars, fancy houses, you name it. All of these things. That's what gangsters do. Gangsters are gangsters. If they catch a pacu, they can bust it back and put salt in it. That is what they've done to the corrupt PPP regime. So don't run around. The drug lords will be drug lords. And they can only exist in a country where the government or those who are in political offices condone those actions. And that is exactly what the PPP does. The PPP condones drug dealing. They condone fuel smuggling. They condone gold smuggling. Because right now they have lots of people close up to the PPP regime who are smuggling gold. They're smuggling fuel. Remember that fuel boat out in Trinidad that blew up and they found cocaine and illegal fuel coming from Venezuela and all these sort of things? Why every time a shipment of oil from Venezuela, this is the second or third time we hear that it's a Guyana flag that's being used? It's not accidental, you know. Understand what's going on. Maybe that explains why Padmani is so sick that he's not able to host his own press conference. I'm told that they want to drag him out of bed, pad him up, and put him at his press conference, or so-called press conference, this Thursday. Watch out. Watch out for them. Now, the other thing, the ABC countries, the guys them talking up now, they're talking up. They're talking up about governance, not an individual, but about governance, about checks and balances, and the three branches of government. We don't have that. Right now, Guyana get one branch. They get a soccer branch. How many of you know the soccer tree? That is what they get, and that's the PPP. A bunch of suckers, blood suckers, draining the strength of the country, draining the resources of the country, and draining it only into their system, their friends and their cronies, their family members. That is what is happening in Guyana. Hence, can't get justice. We're going to hear a steady report about officers' visa being revoked. We might even hear about OFAC sanction list again. Who knows? You might even hear about more things. The US, they will wake up. They will understand that the government of Guyana is corrupt, and sooner rather than later, they'll have to rein those vagabonds in, those corrupt vagabonds in the PPP regime. Do I have confidence that it's going to happen? Am I confident? Yes. I'm out of here. See you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Now, quickly, before I go, remember, it's okay. People cuss me every day, and I started like what and dogs back. But remember when this guy, when I said this is Dilip, it's Dilip actually. People vex. Why Mark would do that? And they're vexed with me, some PPP people. They're vexed with me. They wrote a whole long thing, some short, picky dreadman from Linda named Jormaine. But when Jack Day said this about poor me, the hypocrites have not a word to say.
These people can be vile and nasty. If I tell you what I know of Benchka, it gets sickening. He was the reigning queen in the prison for 3 years. And the thing is that people, the prison officers, people were carrying food, they were trying to smuggle in a wig and lipstick for him there. I know that because I was president, they gave me report.
Poor me, always getting abusing, always getting a cuss out. Poor me, wigs and lipstick, right? Dilip is something else, right? Dilip is, I told you guys, these guys are fixated. And when these kind of guys are fixated with these kind of things, understand what goes on behind closed doors. Understand what happens in there. Anyways, I'm out of here, right? Wigs and lipstick, right? Dilip. So when you have people who are high up in authority persecute people, persecution, that's what they have done to lots and lots of people. It is not only now, but suddenly the word persecution becomes, it's like it's in style right now. But that has been the hallmarks of the PPP. Persecute people, politically and otherwise. Persecution. And I'm talking about real persecution. Real persecution, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Real. Not like what Clem David would say, pia. Moutargan talk kind of persecution, you know, real persecution. You guys like the lipstick thing, no? Y'all want to hear it again? Because it's funny. I actually like it, right? When people do these things to me, I kind of like it because I become immune to these things now, man. Because look, it doesn't make no sense that I get vexed and thing up, you know, go back in the trench and battle and it doesn't make sense, man. It absolutely doesn't. But take a listen because I think it's fun. Funny.
These people can be vile and nasty. If I tell you what I know of Benchka, it gets sickening. He was the reigning queen in the prison for 3 years. And the thing is that people, the prison officers, people were carrying food, they were trying to smuggle in a wig and lipstick for him.
Do you guys actually feel sorry for me? Look, I don't really, you know, it's up to you guys whether you want. But all them cussing and all them kind of thing guys get these days by big time cussing. Big time, big cussing. I don't know. Anyways, we were able to, earlier this afternoon, we were able to find Jack Dale, also known as Dilip, and preparing for his bed. And this is Dilip, also known as Jack Dale, and this is how he prepares for his press conferences. So take a look and understand what's happening in Guyana. Jack Dale. Take a good look. Jack Dale, after he lost all of his hair, he's getting some hair transplant. So we'll talk about that hair transplant that Jack Dale is getting. We'll talk about that tomorrow night. But for now, my name is Mark Benshaw. Have a great rest of the night. Don't forget tomorrow. You can get up early, possible, and past Greenwich. They do their thing starting from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. And so we will pray for the nation, pray for Guyana, pray for our adopted country, the U.S., and wherever else you are. God bless you. Have a great rest of the night. So long. And when you see Padmini, call her just that, Padmini.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up,